I'm just gonna pick up where I left off on the last video, basically. So, trying to finish off this leach field area. I got my pipes in. I gotta get a the vent pipe in that one. Intake is coming on the other side. So I gotta get this this Presby sand, hand put it into there, and then get it kind of stacked under those pipes so that it's holding the pipe up. And then tomorrow, guy's coming back with the excavator. He's going to be doing the trenching for the rest of it, and kind of getting this whole mess, you know, graded, and going to get some topsoil in a few places and get that pile of topsoil out of there and move it somewhere where we can access it, because things are going to start shaping up around here a little bit. Already got the seed down. I'm just mulching over it. I got this pipe taken care of. Now heading into there, and it goes into the little baffle thing, I think you call it. And we are getting this excavated out so that we can run the piping. Guy that's doing the excavation is going to go get some sort of a compressor thing that'll help us compact the soil a little bit. We got some of the good dirt up here, so that can be seeded tonight. I'm gonna have Val do that because she did the other one, so she knows how fast and all that. And yep, moving along. One thing is, using this watering can to water all that is a pain in the butt. I gotta do this at least twice a day. I gotta come up with some better system for this, some way to get the water down here at least, because this is this sucks. Working on getting the piping from the tank down to the field installed here, and this will basically then, after this afternoon, the excavator's gonna come in and put sand underneath this pipe, so that basically we have an extra pile of it and we need to do something with it, but it'll also help kind of boost it up. And gotta get this filter on the end of it right here. And yeah, this should be basically the last day. Should be able to call for the inspection after today. And you know, we're getting our seating down as we go. Probably have the excavator guy do a little bit more, you know, where with the trench, just to show like what the elevation will be and whatnot. And yeah, should be good to go after that. It's gonna be a little complicated getting the inspector to come out. I gotta do some weird paperwork because in New Hampshire, when you're trying to do your own tank, if you're not doing an in-place replacement, or I guess it doesn't have to be in place, but a replacement, then you have to do extra stuff to prove that you're actually living on the property. And since it's really weird to be living on the property when there's no septic, I have to do a bunch of extra paperwork. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, it'll get done. Hopefully, I gotta get it done quick because the excavator guy's coming this afternoon. And I'd like to be here when he's here. Okay, well, you can see this is ready for inspection now. I got my stink pipe in, got all my pipes covered. Still got the tarp over it just to kind of collect the pine needles, which I don't know how much success I'm having with that, because when I took them off to kind of fix things up, it kind of made a bit of a mess, but I tried to clean that up as much as I could. We got this pipe running here, going to the tank. There was a problem, I don't remember if I showed it on camera or not, but the filter in here isn't perfectly straight up and down because there was a bit of a lift in this. So we smushed that down, which ended up causing a rotation. So it's a bit like, you know, crooked a bit. So not sure if that'll be an issue or not, we'll see. Now I'm just getting some rock under this pipe to make sure that it's a nice consistent drop into the tank, and then we are done. I've already called the inspector. I emailed the inspector. Hadn't heard back yet. It's possible that the email got lost in spam or something, so I'm gonna give him a call later today. So I emailed him 2 nights ago. And yeah, hopefully he can get out here soon. Hopefully we pass. There's a couple things that we may not pass on. One of them is more of a pain in the butt than the others. But yeah, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. And yeah, I'm just gonna work on getting another coat on of the paint on the foundation. Trying to get this the thing so we can do the 4-foot backfill on it. Not backfilling all the way because the flooring has to be on before that happens, but the big excavator needs to go. So in order to, have as little big things I need to move after it's gone, I'm just trying to get as much done as I can. Got a lot of events and whatnot, a little mini vacation going on in the next few days / week, so I don't expect to be getting a ton done here. So yeah, he's gonna have to bring that onto a new job before we're completely ready. But I can use the tractor for a bunch of stuff. I applied a second coat of the waterproofing stuff on the foundation, and it's kind of bubbling in the heat, which I think is fine. As long as it's coating it, those will pop. It's not a big deal. But what I am seeing over here, there's a bunch of spots like this where it's mostly painted, but there's that like little bit of concrete exposed, and you can even see in the little holes there's a bunch of concrete that's in there exposed. Now I'm using a roller to get this on. If I used a spray gun, maybe this would be resolved. Maybe not though, because some of the holes are kind of difficult to get in. But yeah, so I don't know if that's a problem. The it's mostly, like, you can see it, like it's mostly covered. But there's just a lot of that stuff around in different spots. And I'm not particularly worried about this area being very wet, because it's not. The soil drains pretty well. So I'm thinking, I keep going back and forth on this. What would solve this completely would be to have a, it's not called a vapor barrier. There's basically this stuff you can get which will sit in front of the wall, and it kind of sits out a little bit, and it's got ridges, and it creates a path for the water to travel down behind it. I thought about getting that several weeks ago, but decided against it because it's not super easy. You got to like drill into the concrete, and they need you to fully seal the top so that no dirt gets in it, because the whole way that it works is that it's an air gap and the water falls down to the bottom. So it's kind of a hassle. It would work better for sure, but yeah, right now I'm thinking this will probably be good enough. I still need another coat on this wall. This one only had the one coat so far, so I'm thinking if I get another bucket, do another coat here, probably do another coat on this back wall to see what it looks like. I think that'll be good. You can see I got stuff all over me. This stuff is such a mess. But yeah, ran out of that, so I gotta move on to the next project. So I've been marking where the sill plates are supposed to go. I've got them, all the marks here, and basically these, whoops, almost fell out the letter. These marks make it so that if the inside of the plate were here, then the outside of the plate would be in the proper spot to, have the floor on it. Now, if you notice the distance here, I don't have a tape measure with me, but this pin ends up, I think, 1 inch from the edge of the plate. The plate ends up over here, not at the edge of the foundation. This is 2 inches. You need to have the pin be within the middle third of the board. These are 6-inch boards, so 5.5 inches wide. So that creates a bit of a problem, because that means that the plate can't be here. It has to start, here-ish and go to the edge in order for the pin to be there. This also means that when I put my floor joist on, joist is going to be running this way, and it's going to be on top of the pin partially. So what I'm going to do to kind of adjust for this is I'm going to end up, I'm going to do a double plate. So I'll do my single plate, I'll bolt that down, just normal, and then I'll have another plate on top of it where this area will be cut out, to which creates space for the washer and the nut and everything to be able to fit through it. That way I have and then I will chop off, I'll just grind off the top of the pin that's above the nut. That way I will have my legally required plate fully bolted down, unmodified, you know, not drilled into, all that kind of thing. Totally there. I have a second plate on top of it, which is literally just there to support the floorboards so that I can create space for these. And that'll be that. And I'll do that all the way around, even though, you know, I'm not going to need, I'm not going to have this same exact problem in all of the walls. I'm going to do it everywhere because I need to make sure that my heights are all the same. So that's the plan. And, you know, when I first saw this, it was kind of like, oh, God, what am I going to do here? But there's solutions. Now that we're onto the wood stuff, I feel like everything is just so much easier. Got my first sill plate attached. Just gonna do that for all the rest of them, and then you know, this is obviously the super important one that's got to be tied down, and then we'll just figure something out to put on top, and then no big deal. Well, we semi-passed inspection. Leach field is all good. He was happy with that, very happy with it, in fact. And the only things we got to do are a couple things up here at the tank. Basically, the baffles inside. I'm not going to get into it, but there's some minor fixing up that has to do. And this section here, a foot out needs to be level. And so I got to do some fanciness with some fittings there and figure that out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the slope coming off the side of the leach field here, and if you look real closely, see if I can find one. Right there, you see sprouts are starting to come up, which is awesome. I think this has been about a week, less than a week, probably, before things started to sprout. Using a pollinator mix. We don't really like traditional lawns and all the maintenance that goes into them and all that, so we're doing something a little different. Mow like twice a year, and you have a nice, pretty, flowery yard. There we go. We got all that sand on here. We're just gonna dump the last of it in that corner over there to kind of get the land smoothed out. But everything is way more covered than it has to be by the Presby. This stuff only needed to be 3 inches over the top, and it's 6+. So we are good to go. We'll have all the bacteria we need, and I won't have to be worrying about any failures. We're getting everything kind of smoothed out. I have a pile of topsoil down at the end of the driveway that he's just getting in the truck to bring up here. But yeah, this has been going well. I'm very happy with how this looks. It's been a nice, easy easy day for me too, because not a whole lot that I need to do to help him, and I don't want to get distracted with something else, so I'm just kind of taking a break. And that is it. We're all done. Well, he's all done. I wasn't doing anything most of the day. Yeah, basically that kind of line you see there, that's the portion that he's done, and we're leaving what's on this side of the line, so that when we need to backfill and do all that kind of stuff, we have an area where we're not going to mess up grass and dirt, and everything over there is going to be seeded, and we're going to put the hay down just like we did for the other spots. And that is that. The thing I'll have to do after that is get the tiny little things done for that are near the septic tank, the piping and fixing the manifolds, and then I gotta send a picture to the guy. And then we have a, whatever it is, approved, recorded septic system that we can use. So yeah, major part of the build done, out of the way. Don't have to do anything more with it after tomorrow. And yeah, that's awesome. So you're going to be moving on to opportunistically doing some painting on the side, get a few more coats on there when it's nice out and it's not going to be raining, but mainly doing the walls for the basement, starting the actual build of the house. We got a few silt plates on that you can see. I'll get the rest of those on, and things are going to start to walls are gonna come up. You know, I'm very excited to see the first walls, but I gotta start wrapping my head around all that, all the proper. You gotta use the right nails, and I gotta get a nail gun and all that kind of thing. So that's next week. I'm taking the rest of the week mostly off, so I need a little break. Yeah. See you later.